Good afternoon, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome to episode 38 of our Infitech 2 modded Minecraft Let's Play series. So if you recall, last episode, we built that large steam turbine over at the factory area. Since then, I've got it plugged in with power and everything, and just a heads up, I would suggest, instead of using the gold cable, I was looking around on NEI and noticed that silver cable is a bit more efficient, whereas the gold cable, I've actually got some in here. The gold cable has a 2 EU loss per block, and the 2 EU per block loss, and the silver only has a 1. However, you will notice that the gold can transfer 3 amps with a small cable, whereas silver is limited to 1. However, it's not really a big deal because you can just craft this 4 times silver cable, and it's not really any different to do. Just a little bit more rubber and silver, but if you need those extra amps, like over at the base, I'm actually using, a larger amount of amps. Also, I did forget to turn in the quest last episode, so we'll go ahead and do that really, really quick. We'll take our material bag. Oh, it's a tier 3 again. We got like a couple tier 4s earlier, now we just get a bunch of tier 3s, which are just lead and steel. Not terribly useful for us, I guess. I do have some ashes running through here. I'm going to go ahead and set those to rerun because we're going to get some carbon. And what we're going to be working on today is getting our first piece of titanium, and then hopefully getting our upgraded Thaumcraft wand, which would be great. I've actually done a lot of work between this episode and last. Once we get over to the other base, you'll see I did a lot of building, a lot of setting up for that steam turbine, and then I've also done a bunch of breaking down for Essentia to make the wand because it is rather expensive. But first off, we're going to need to get some magnesium dust. We're going to need 2 pieces of that. I was looking through here and I noticed probably the best way to make it, I think, at this point is in the centrifuge. You can actually just take 8 marble dust and you're going to get a magnesium and 7 calcite from that. So definitely worth doing. I actually just got back because we were kind of low on marble, but I went and I mined up a bit of this. So we'll go ahead and start running that through there. We just need 8 more pieces for our other piece of magnesium. And we'll get that going. It takes about 30 seconds to run this through. And then we're also going to need just a bucket's worth of this titanium tetrachloride, which, to get that, the best way I've found is in the chemical reactor with a couple buckets of chlorine, 3 carbon dust, and then a piece of rutile. However, you will notice that we are going to need HV power to do that, but I've already crafted a HV chemical reactor and got that set up over here. So we're all set on that end, and we got our carbon and our rutile. So let's run over there and we'll get that. Also, you will need a couple buckets of chlorine, but we do have these chlorine cells from a few episodes back, so we'll just use that for now. And exterior wise, I haven't got a ton of building done. I've mainly focused on the interior, basically just laying things out. I haven't started really getting machines set up and everything, but you'll notice that I've done a bit of work on the interior all the way around. I mean, it's not totally done. I want some lights and stuff on the ceiling and everything, but we've got at least a basis to work with for the base. And what I'm thinking is, like, this floor is going to be all of our machines and stuff, and then down below we'll have more of like the factorization aspect of it, and then our power generation and everything. And also worth noting, I actually tried this in a test world with the Infitech pipes because they move more like... I was testing it with these stainless pipes, and you'll notice that they move 7,200 liters a second. Basically, a liter is a millibucket. However, it does do it over a second instead of per tick. So normally you get 20 ticks in a second. So you kind of have to, take that into account. And after testing it in test world, I did discover that the pressurized fluid conduits did move steam quicker than the Infitech pipes did. And a little bit easier to set up and everything too. And also worth noting, I haven't changed over all the pipes yet. But before, how I had these set up, if you notice, they have 3 different extract points and 3 separate pipelines. You don't have to do that. Basically, let me see, I don't have any on me, do I? If you look at the pressurized fluid conduits, they have a max extract of 120, but their I/O can carry 480. So you can have 4 extracts on the same line, and it's going to carry all 480 of that millibuckets of that steam per tick through the pipeline. So you can do 4 of these on a single line. So that'll save you some pipes and everything. And I've got this running, and I did notice that it's slowly getting durability, but it'll take a while for it to run down through all that. But it does produce distilled water. So right now I've just got it going into a drum. I figured, why not? We'll get a drum of this just to have it, I guess. I don't know. But after that, I'll once this starts getting close to filling up, I will... actually, it's filling up rather fast. But now that I think about it, I don't think distilled water is really any different than standard water. So we probably don't actually need a drum of it. I probably could have just sent it to this void fluid pipe. But I went ahead and made some of the void fluid pipes from BC Transport. Just to get rid of the distilled water that we don't need. Just pipe sealant and a void transport pipe in a packager. And that is just redstone and ink with a little bit of molten glass in an assembler. And any kind of black dye will work for that. And you'll get 3 of those, by the way. So it's definitely a light on resources, I'd say. But then I have the steam, going into this turbine, and then I have a silver cable bringing it out into this high voltage battery buffer. And I made a few of the large lithium batteries because we actually had a lot of lithium built up. So I made 3 of those. I'd like to eventually get 4, but kind of getting low on lithium, so I don't want to use up the last 5 pieces of it that we've got. These are a little bit expensive. They take 32 lithium, so definitely not terribly cheap. I also have a turbo steam turbine here that will create HV power. I've got it turned off right now because we don't need it unless these really start getting low, and then I'll just flip it on. Because I discovered that really these 2 pipelines running into the turbine, it really doesn't need that much steam. One of these seems to run it just fine. I have the second one just in case, for a little bit of a extra what if kind of scenario. And so the second pipeline also feeds into this turbo steam turbine. So if these get low, we can kick it on and have a bit more production. And then over here, I did change over, instead of having the MV dynamo hatch, we've got an HV one back there, and I've got just the 4x silver cables bringing power over to that, as well as this advanced chemical reactor. So, that's pretty much covers this area, I guess. But let's go ahead, we'll throw a rutile in there, and we'll throw... 3 pieces of carbon, and then we're gonna need to I can't. Okay, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We are going to nick this. And I think I got a few more pressurized fluid conduits over at the base, but I got rid of them because I know I always have an inventory issue, so I was like, oh, I'll pull these out. Okay. So we've got that running now. That's going to get us our tetrachloride stuff. And we'll go ahead and set this now to extract and insert, and we'll set this to fluid auto output. And there we go. And one of the main reasons I'm really wanting to get this first piece of titanium made is, of course, if you recall, I've been really wanting to get our titanium or our Silverwood wand, but it does take that piece of titanium to get that. So that's kind of what I've been holding out on. Alright. And tell you what. Okay, switch that over. Whenever you go into a test world, I've noticed if you change the difficulty, because I always set it to peaceful, and this happens to me on all my series. I'll go into the test world and start messing with things, set it to peaceful, so I don't have all those slimes and stuff jumping around. And then when I get back in the main world, I always forget to change it back over from peaceful to normal mode. So I do apologize about that. Okay, so this is now done. We've got our magnesium. And, oh yeah, we needed 2 pieces, didn't we? So let me grab some of this. Okay. And we'll let that run for just a second. Go. I can't believe, if you recall, we've been waiting on this titanium for a very long time. To get moving forward with Thaumcraft. Let's see. This was another machine I kind of looked at making. I don't really have any diamonds at the moment, though. Diamonds have been an issue this whole series. So I'm going to try to get some of those together because that better macerator is really going to help. Also, Jason commented last episode, the advanced extruder, like the higher tier one, can actually make those rods and stuff for us at a better output. Like 2 rods per ingot. So, instead of making them on the lathe, we definitely want to get that set up fairly soon. I haven't set it up just yet, but when I was looking at the stuff we needed to make this episode, we didn't really need too much in the way of rods. So, or wait, yeah we do. Yeah we do. We need it for the titanium, don't we? Okay, I might set that up in just a second. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, so now we've got our magnesium and titanium tetrachloride stuff. Do we have to... Do we really have to turn this stuff in? Okay. I think we do. Damn it. Okay, I want to complete the quest, so I'll go, I'll set this up to turn in really quick. And then I'll go get some more chlorine. I gotta remember how we go about making that, actually. Alright, so now they want us to make a titanium ingot in the blast furnace. So I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to get some chlorine. I can't remember the best way to create that, actually. Oh. Salt would work. Hematite. Rock salt. Okay. So I'll be back in just a minute once I get a little bit of chlorine. Okay, welcome back. One thing worth noting is that your blast furnace can actually extract the liquid from the hatches. So it's definitely something worth keeping in mind. And now we've got ourselves some more of this titanium tetrachloride. So let's grab that. And we should be all set now. Let's see. We'll put that in there. And if I recall correctly, it takes just 1,000 of that, and then our no, that's for, oh yeah, 2 magnesium. What do we do with the magnesium? Oh, that turned that in for the quest too. Shit. Okay, I'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back. So I've got that 2 magnesium. We'll just throw that into there, and it should take it. There it goes. It's running now. And it does. Let's see, how long does it take? So we're looking at about 40 seconds. That's not terrible. And we'll get some of this magnesium chloride dust as well. Let's see. Yeah, I was running some steel through there earlier. Some of that steel dust that we had accumulated from running the lathe and stuff, I was just kind of running that through there. Yeah, it's draining these a little bit, but honestly, those lithium batteries hold so much that it's not really an issue. So there we go, our very first piece of titanium, probably the most involved metal I think I've ever made. So now let's grab our material bag and let's cross our fingers it's a good quality one. Tier 4, awesome. And oh, shit, no, damn it. Oh my god, I'm just gonna put it in there for now. So we got silver, gold, and this god-awful uranium. Okay, I'm gonna go get sick and try to find a cow really quick. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, welcome back. By the way, let me know what you think. If you think I should turn this, like, gray stuff into more of like a black. I almost think it needs to be, like, darker. I think that gray is too light. Or maybe use that pattern. I don't know. Let's see. I got this stuff. Let me run this through here really quick. I got the stuff to make the shape plate. Because we've already got an extruder over here that's MV. But we might as well get double plates because titanium's not the easiest material to mess with. And there we go. So we got our shape plate for the rods. Let's throw our titanium in there. And there we go. So we got our 2 titanium rods. And I've still got to figure out what to do with that. I may end up throwing that uranium into like a like a chest and just move it around with a dolly. We also unlocked this waste reprocessing. Basically, we're going to have to get 4 of that magnesium chloride dust. So we're just going to have to make another piece of titanium for that quest. But now I want to shift our attention over to Thaumcraft. I'm actually kind of excited for this. So to make the Silverwood rod, we're going to need a titanium rod, a piece of Silverwood, a balance shard, 1 of each crystal type, and then 64 of all primal elements and 64 percantio as well. Luckily, I've already got all the essence cooked down for this. A lot of the stuff I already had cooked, like percantio I already had, ignis I already had, aqua and air I had pretty close to enough. Ordo really wasn't an issue because, you know, we have already a farm and everything set up for Ordo. The percantio is probably the worst of the bit. And let's grab that. And actually, since we're going to be messing with Thaumcraft, let's go ahead and switch over that. Let me throw some of this junk into here for now. Okay. And I've got some Salus Mundus and some Ballad Shards, which we'll need the Salus Mundus in a minute. And then we'll get Entropy, Order, Earth, Water. Damn my inventory. Let me go dump some stuff off here. Really quick. Like all of this stuff, I guess. Just throw it in there for right now. That'd be fine. You guys can just hang out. Okay. Oh, I'm not used to not being able to run really fast in this stuff. It's terrible. Because it's actually been a while. I mean, I've done a little bit of Thaumcraft, like research and stuff, but it's been a while since we've really got to focus much on Thaumcraft. So there's all 6 of our shards, our Silverwood, titanium rods. We are all set to get this started. So I've already moved all the warded jars that we're going to need, and I also made some extra. I didn't just make straight up 64 of the Essentia that we needed. I made quite a bit of extra just to be on the safe side. It's also why I made a bit of extra like balance shards and stuff. You know what? I should probably grab some extra Silverwood too. Just because. I mean, we're working with titanium now. I don't want to take any chances on having any issues with this. But honestly, once we get this rod, our life is going to be so much easier, I think, as far as Thaumcraft, because we'll be able to start moving nodes over to our base, which is a huge boon for us at this point. Oh, I forgot. In this pack, I've already got the floor all done out and everything, so I really don't know that we'll have any issue. But to be on the safe side, we might as well not take any chances. Gosh. Okay. So we'll put our rod in the middle. We'll put our Silverwood over there. We'll put our balance shard here. Order. Entropy. Water. Fire. Earth. And air. Okay. So there we go. And let's get this party started. If you notice, I have tons of jars here, storing all the different elements that we should need. Oh, I don't have my flight thingy on right now. It's not good. And I guess we'll stand right up here because I can see everything. Barely see the aqua over there. This is going to take a while. Debating if I want to cut camera or if I want you guys here for the whole epic process. I'm probably going to cut camera because this is going to take a while to absorb all these elements and everything. So I'll be back in a minute. I'll bring you guys back if anything really crazy happens or anything, but otherwise I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, welcome back. It's grabbing the last little bit of essence there. Now it's starting to absorb the items, so I figured I'd bring you guys back for this part because honestly this rod is probably one of the most meaningful things we've crafted in Thaumcraft thus far, I'd say. Because it was a while ago that we were like, oh, you know, next big thing we need is, you know, this rod and everything. Alright, so we have the first part of this done, which is the Silverwood rod. Now next up we are going to need to make the caps, starting with the inert ones. Those are just going to take thaumium rings, thaumium rounds, a hammer, and a little bit of VNR wand. So nothing too crazy on that. Alright. So, to get the thaumium rounds, just 2 nuggets with a file. Or we can put a nugget through a lathe. Would be better. Yeah, let's do that. And then for the round, just a thaumium rod. Or we can put it through an extruder and get 4 of them. Yeah, I think we're going to do that actually. Okay, so we'll dump this stuff off really quick, because we don't really need all that anymore. And let's actually switch our gear here. And we are going to need 2 of these. I don't know, I'm half tempted just to pound them out really quick. Kind of. Because thaumium's not really that hard to get, honestly. But depends. If I have a shape plate, let me see if I have a shape plate. I'm not gonna worry about. No, we've got normal pipes. No. Okay. I'm just gonna pound it out, I think. Because like I said, thaumium's not a difficult material. So, just pound that out with a hammer. Let's see, I've got file on the hammer here. Because it's basically just going to cost me an extra piece of iron, which I'm not terribly concerned about. So get that. Get those. And then this part does take a little bit of a V. So we'll get those. And now we have to charge it and get our Silverwood wand. So to charge these, Arcane Infusion again with a little bit of Potentia and Aurum. I've already got that stuff cooked up. And then 2 pieces of Salus Mundus for each one. And it is a minor recipe. So I don't foresee us having any kind of an issue with it. And they should only take a second to get crafted as well. So, and I forgot my damn wand. Okay, cool. And after this, I may have to run out and get a little bit of V in my wand. Luckily, I mean, we've got nodes around the top of this mesa, so it's not going to take me but a second. However, we are pretty much going to have capped out mana, or V on our wands, I believe, to actually craft the wand itself. And I think after this episode, I'll probably start moving all of our Thaumcraft stuff over here, because I've been holding out on it, because it's like, you know, realistically, we haven't been doing very much Thaumcraft, so I wasn't terribly concerned about it. But now we are reaching the point that we're doing a bit more Thaumcraft, and so, you know, we'll definitely be, you know, dipping a bit more into it from now on, I'd say. And these are nice, they only take a second. Of course, at the same time, there is something really epic about whenever you craft that, the rod. Because it just took so long, and of course there was so much build up and waiting for it, at least for us, because we, you know, pretty much tackled Thaumcraft as soon as things became available to us with this pack. So now we can actually move forward with it. Which is exciting, because honestly this pack has a lot of really good Thaumcraft add-ons. Like the witching gadgets and stuff that aren't always present in all the packs and stuff. Now I will say I recently did a mod showcase. Real KC had suggested it, and it was over Tainted Magic. And I would actually like to see that in this pack. It would be kind of fun. It mainly just adds a lot of, you know, extra equipment and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, we basically need Ordo, Ignis, and Air. Pretty much what I use to craft those wand caps. So I think I will cut camera, because it'll probably take a second. Hey, buddy. And then I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, welcome back. So I filled the wand up here. And now we can get our Thaumium Boss Silverwood wand. Yes! Okay. So we've got that, and we should be able to get this quest turned in. I guess we're gonna take the thaumaturg's back. Okay. That's probably like this quest was so difficult. And then we got 2 brown tallow candles. Well, that's fine. Okay, we're gonna go with it. At least we got our wand now. And Jason did mention before that there will eventually be quests added for Thaumcraft. Just they haven't got them done yet. So I believe the only remaining quest that we have for Thaumcraft is the rest of this clustered stuff for the thorium, uranium-238, iridium, platinum, and palladium. But we'll get to that at at a later time, I imagine. The rewards I'm not too worried about on that. So get myself a couple candles. But yeah, so we've got our wand, so now we can really start progressing with Thaumcraft, because we can start moving nodes over to our base. And there we go. Okay. And I do believe I'll probably end up moving some between this episode and next, to get us set up for that. But I will cover, next episode we'll cover moving those. But I may do some, before then. So just a heads up on that. But we'll be able to get this going. And, oh man, it's going to make Thaumcraft so much easier and everything, and a lot more interesting to jump back into. So, I do believe I'm going to end the episode out there. I feel very accomplished with this episode. That's honestly one of the things I like the most about this mod pack is, like, it took forever for us to get to, feels like it took forever for us to get to the point, where we can make this wand and get it and everything and start advancing with Thaumcraft. But when you finally reach that point, it's so rewarding. Like, even more than 2 brown tallow candles. That's how rewarding it is. But, yeah, so I'm pretty stoked about it, I must say. But, yeah, so I'm going to end the episode out there. As always, if you guys enjoyed it, please comment, like, subscribe. It's very, very much appreciated. And next episode, we may dive a little bit into Thaumcraft. I'm kind of excited to jump back into that a little bit. Or we might get more into the tech, because I think the next thing that we're going to tackle in the tech line is going to be the vacuum freezer. Because that way we can get our Canthal and upgrade our blast furnace. And there's that. Okay. But mainly we can upgrade our blast furnace once we get those Canthal coil blocks. So definitely something kind of exciting. I also want to get this fairly soon. But it does require those diamonds. But I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys join me for that. Whatever we're doing, I'm not really sure just yet. And until then, do take care, and I hope to see you guys next episode.